Hi, I'm Leslie Meredith with Breakbulk Events and Media, and I'm here at our first Breakbulk Middle East in Abu Dhabi. And I'm joined this morning by Eduard Gracia, Principal with AT Kearney. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here. He'll be delivering our keynote address this morning, but I have had a chance to kind of pull him away and get a preview on what he'll be talking about. His subject is Iran, the impending lifting sanctions, and how that will affect the repercussions around the world and what the effects will be in Iran and throughout the Middle East itself. So give us a little background about that and what the sanctions, lifting of those sanctions, what the immediate impact might be.
Yes, the analysis we have done is primarily on oil and gas. So in that sense, we should consider that the sanctions had an impact on the production of oil by Iran. So basically their production was reduced by about 800,000 barrels per day. And that was due to unplanned outages in fields. That was due to development that was meant to happen and didn't happen. And therefore, the first impact of the sanctions lifting would be that Iran would be in the position to get the technology to get those fields back in place and increase its production. Throughout 2016, you would expect their production to go up by another 800,000 barrels. Right now it's 3.5 million barrels per day. That's one of the impacts. Another impact is obviously that during the sanctions, Europe as well as the US imposed a ban on shipping insurance, and therefore many shippers were not in the position to actually take that cargo because the insurance would not cover those trips. So from our perspective, if the sanctions are lifted, that will also be opening that market to those shippers that until now were not able to play. A third aspect is, as we said, infrastructure, and we could talk about oil infrastructure. We could talk particularly about gas infrastructure, because Iran, although has the second largest gas reserves in the world, has a significant bottleneck in terms of its logistics. So its only major export pipeline is to Turkey. It's the Tabriz-Ankara pipeline, which represents more than 90% of their exports, and the rest go to Azerbaijan and Armenia. They also have an incoming pipeline from Turkmenistan, and the funny thing is, in the last 15 years, 12 of those years, they were actually in deficit, meaning they were importing more gas than exporting, simply because they have a lot of gas, but they cannot export. So, due to the logistics, their net output is very little. If you consider outside the country. Inside the country, they produce and they consume a lot of the gas. Okay. So from that perspective, the country does not have LNG terminals, although it's a project that has been there for years, but due to sanctions and other things, it has not got to completion. They have projects on pipelines to different places, to Pakistan, to other places, which we will talk. And therefore, that could be a third impact. Iran will try to get investment on developing its oil reserves, as well as on developing its gas infrastructure.